right. So in keeping with the science fiction theme, let's talk about Star Wars.
Oh, do we have to?
Yes, we have to. So basically, this is an article from Bounding into Comics, and it's talking about how a new character has been introduced into the Star Wars universe via the High Republic books
What's his
and
name? Like pyrite or quartz or something like that, right?
Geode.
Oh, okay.
Geode. And the character is basically a rock. He's
Yeah,
just a rock.
nice.
So let's go through this article here. So
Good job, Claudia Gray.
this is from the book Into the Dark by Claudia Gray. A brand new character introduced in Star Wars The High Republic is literally a rock named Geode. Introduced in Star Wars The High Republic Into the Dark by Claudia Gray, Geode is the navigator of the starship called the Vessel, a very original starship name, that is piloted by Leox Giassi, I don't know how you pronounce that, of the Bin Guild. Bine Guild?
Leox is gay of the Bin Guild. Yes.
Bin Gay?
Yeah.
When he's introduced in Into the Dark, Gray writes, but all conversation came to an end as Leox and Affy stopped their group at the edge of the cockpit. And this here, Leox said with a grin, is our ship's navigator, Geode. The narration reads, standing in one corner of the cockpit was a rock.
Oh my God.
It continues, about as tall and slightly wider than Wreath himself, dark gray, with rounded edges and a flinty, flaky surface. Impressive as rocks went, but still, it was just a rock, wasn't it? Wreath frowned. Surely this was some kind of weird joke. It's not a joke, Giassi explains. He's a Ventian from Vent, the pilot added. Geode's a nickname, by the way. Turns out you can't pronounce his name correctly unless you don't have a mouth. Let me read that line again. Turns out you can't pronounce his name correctly unless you don't have a mouth. Does Claudia Gray know what pronounce means? I mean, she's a professional writer, right?
Yes, I think. I don't know.
How about turns out you can't comprehend his name correctly unless you don't have a mouth, right? Because
Yeah,
pronouncement means speaking,
correct.
right?
Yes.
So if you don't have a mouth, it's impossible for you to pronounce anything. Gray later writes, Leox cackled as he began leading them from the cockpit into the ship. Yeah, just you wait, but I don't want to give you fellows the wrong idea. Geode's a wild man for sure. But when it comes to steering the ship, he's all business. I find it interesting that they gave the rock a gender.
How can a rock have a gender?
Well, they're calling him a he instead of an it. So Geode's a wild man, apparently.
Good
He
job,
knows how
Claudia.
to party.
This gender a rock. Okay, cool.
Yeah. Gray continued. Solid, you might say. Orla raised an eyebrow. Very well. Let's go get a look at our bunks. Then it gives an excerpt from the book. And in another section of the book, it's revealed that it will be 9 years before Geode goes into his next mating smelt. So not only can he navigate a starship, but he can get it on with other rocks.
Are we being trolled? I think Star Wars is just trolling everybody on the planet right now.
But here it's just me and Geode, and he won't go into his next mating smelt for another 9 years or so. Geode didn't contradict him, like I said here. So how does the rock communicate? Actually, like, does it have a mouth? Can it speak? Obviously, it doesn't have a mouth because you can't pronounce its name with a mouth.
Telepathic? Is it a telepathic rock?
Well, it's a sentient rock, but I don't know how exactly it operates. So in a video shared to the official Star Wars website, the narrator states, Leox Giassi is the eccentric pilot of a vessel known simply as the Vessel. Oof. Co-piloted by Alfie Hallow and navigated by Geode, who appears to be a rock. An image of Affy and Geode are shown in the video, which you can see below. Artist Jake Bartok previously shared concept art of Geode to Twitter back in February. He wrote, I noticed there isn't any official concept art for Into the Dark's breakout star Geode yet. Here is my unofficial interpretation of everyone's favorite solid, stony-faced navigator.
This is a troll. It has to be a troll.
This is not a troll. This is official Star Wars canon.
This can't be real, Matt. It's so ridiculous.
I guess you could say Star Wars has hit rock bottom. But
That's good.
no, like there's a whole race of sentient rocks called Ventians in the Star Wars universe now.
Listen, man, if Star Wars is dead, it truly is dead. Um, if this was if this was like Red Dwarf or something,
Mhm.
I would be all about the Rock.
The Orville.
The Orville, it might be funny. He could you hang out with the little blob dude. But this is Star Wars, man. This is literally the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
I want to know how this rock makes it around the ship, or just in general. Like, does he just waddle like R2, or
Well,
like
it's
how
a
does he
rock. It
move?
doesn't have legs.
Yeah,
Um,
but I mean, does he like rock back and forth? No pun intended. To like get places. Like how does his race advance?
I don't know. I don't.
How do
I
they communicate? How do they learn navigation?
you gotta.
I have so many questions.
Yeah. I don't. I just. I can't believe this is real. I just can't. And I don't know, man. I know there it is. It's just
It's literally a rock.
if people can still sit there and defend the High Republic after this, I just don't care about your opinion on really anything after
And
that.
what's crazy is the High Republic is a prequel to
Yeah,
everything we know about Star Wars.
yeah.
Where were these sentient rocks during the Clone Wars or the Empire? Where what planet is Vent? Like, where is that located? Are there other are there sentient like hunks of metal or logs?
You're breaking me right now. I really just want to turn the computer off and go turn the hockey game on right now. It's so brutally bad, man.
And
Fuck Star
isn't
Wars.
isn't Cla-
I'm over Star Wars, man. I'm done.
isn't Claudia Gray supposed to be one of the good Star Wars writers? Like,
Yeah, I guess.
I've heard good stuff about her. I'm
Was
wondering I'm wondering if like the story team went to her and said you have to include a sentient rock, and she's like, really? And they're like, if you want to cash your paycheck, you have to
maybe
include a
they said,
sentient
okay,
rock.
we need a non-binary, sexless
Well,
character.
no, he's a male who gets it
Oh, he does
on
have
with his smelting phase, right? Where they were talking about how he gets busy. Where's that part here? Yeah, like there's a part where he says he's a wild man.
Yeah.
I gotta
I
find that because
I still think
oh, his next mating smelt.
I feel like Star Wars is pissed off at everybody ratioing the hell out of everything that they post on social media. So they said, let's see what they do with this, which would be brilliant, by the way. But
Yeah, but this is canon.
I can't believe this. This is just it's
This is
incredible.
part of the expanded universe officially.
Awful.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put it up there with Jackson, the stupid rabbit dude. So yeah, dumb, 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 dumb.
It does not make me want to read these books.
No. Mm-mm.
Like nothing that they've released for the High Republic seems the least bit interesting to me.
Yeah. Well, when you create something called the High Republic by SJW committee on a whiteboard, this is what you get, I guess. So,
Well,
okay.
even if it was like a super like liberal take on the Star Wars universe, if the stories were good and well written and made sense, I'd at least want to check it out.
Mhm.
It doesn't seem like any of that is the case here, though. It really
You're a
doesn't.
much more tolerant and brave man than I am, sir. So,
Yes, I lived in Hollywood for a number of years, so I just had to kind of accept what was
mm,
and learn to live with it.